You know, there's something of a misnomer afoot when you talk about ages and seasons in respect your age and the season. Take myself, for example. Last July 2nd was my 80th birthday. And of course, people say, oh, well, you started in your 80th year. No, no, you're sliding into your 81st year is what you're doing. You were in the midst of your 80th year. If you were born July 2nd like I was, and July 2nd rolls around, that's not the beginning of your stated age. That's the middle of your stated age. And it's the same thing for the seasons. December 21st is the winter solstice. And depending on what calendar you have in your home, it either says the winter solstice or it says winter begins. Which one is correct? It's not winter begins, it's the winter solstice. Why? Because you are standing at the apex of winter, the middle of winter. Because the very next day, December 22nd, you are sliding into spring. You're leaving winter and entering spring. You see the difference? It's a moot point. And on anyone's bank account, it's not going to make any difference. But the fact is, people get this skewed between what one is and what the other is, and you know what's going on there. And I hear it invariably every year at the winter solstice. People will roll their eyes. They'll say, "Oh, God, it's just the beginning of another dark, gloomy winter." No, it's the middle of winter, because that's when it's the shortest day and the longest night of the year. And you are now leaving the domain of winter, although it's still winter time, and you're sliding in, heading for the vernal equinox, which is spring. And when you get there, it's not when spring begins, it's the middle of spring, because now when you leave the vernal equinox of spring, you're heading for summer. See how that works? So, ever since July 2nd of this year, I have been sliding into the 81st year of my life, not the 80th year. On my birthday, that was the apex or high point, if you want to look at it that way, of the passage of time. Like I say, doesn't make a whole lot of difference in those situations. But one is right and one is wrong. And if your calendar says that the 21st of December was the first day of winter, that is wrong. It is the winter solstice, which is the apex of winter, and from that time on, the days start getting longer and the nights start getting shorter. It's a more correct way to look at the passage of time. Speaking of which, if you're not one of Jesus Christ's own already, your time to do that is running out. Your time to do that is running out. So while you still can, accept and believe that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. Don't put this off, because tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. Ages and seasons makes a big difference as to how you look at it, and what is true and what is just something of a misnomer that's accepted to be the truth. Got it? Got it. Good. Until next time, this is Stephen. Talk to you when the wind shifts. See ya. Bye.